Hey everybody, it is November 29th, 2017. I'm Glenn Rubenstein. This is the Wrestling Inc. podcast. Today, we're talking about SmackDown Live for November 28th, 2017. With me as always is Mr. Raj Giri. Raj, how's it going, man?
Good, how are you?
Doing well, man, doing well. So, interesting SmackDown tonight, or last night, rather. Kind of a mixed bag of a show. What did you think overall of where SmackDown's going right now in the build-up to Clash of the Champions in 3 weeks?
I thought it was just by the numbers. Honestly, yeah. I just didn't think there was really anything to it.
Well, I don't know, man. You know, the hype bros have broken up. I don't know if you had trouble getting out of bed this morning, believing in love or the world that we live in. I mean, how can we really go on if Zack Ryder and Mojo Rawley are not a cohesive unit?
That was hard to see. So I think wasn't exactly the Rockers breakup, but it was something.
Amazing that they teased this for such a long time. I feel like this should have happened a year ago, 6 months ago, a while ago.
Yeah, but at the same time, you know, I think they did it right as far as Mojo turning heel, because it's clear he's probably going to be the one that gets more of a push. So at least, you know, it gives them something to do. They haven't really been doing anything. You know, Mojo's, he's got potential, but as a babyface, it hasn't worked.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a face turn last night.
Yeah, I don't think so. Well, they were faces, so
yeah.
Yeah. I think it's clear that Mojo's the heel in this.
Yeah. Oh man. But you know, hey, maybe Ryder will get another aborted push just to crush the fans' hopes and dreams once more.
Yeah. I could see them going 50-50 on them for a while, and then finally, you know, Mojo, you know, winning the last match of their feud. But yeah.
So speaking of drawing stuff out last night, man, once again, I feel like sometimes things happen very, very fast in the WWE, and sometimes it just goes on and on and on. So Shane McMahon last night comes out, brings out Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan, you know, defending not firing Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, further setting up the match last night for Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. What did you make of Bryan's mixed crowd reaction, getting the yes chance, and then him and Shane were getting the what chance about a minute into their promo?
You know, I didn't really think much of it. I just think, what did you think?
A crowd can turn on anyone if Daniel Bryan's getting that, you know? I mean, we've talked about this before. Is it the fans are restless? Is it that they're upset with the product? I mean, why do they do this? And with Daniel Bryan, he's been a sure thing for crowd pops, sitting on the ring post, getting the yes chant going. And then they were just restless a minute into it.
Yeah, and I thought the scripting was kind of bad. And it also makes no sense when you think about it. Like, Shane's upset with Daniel Bryan for not following Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn, he could have just done it right there. You know, I mean, it's a 2-second thing. It doesn't have to be to their face, you know. So, you know, there's holes, but
yeah, they could send them a FedEx on their wedding day. I mean,
right? Yeah. There's a lot of ways to do it. But you know, regardless, this was. I thought the scripting wasn't that great, but I still thought this and the main event were the best things on the show.
Yeah, I want to see where it's going. I mean, I guess Clash of the Champions, we're going to get some resolution there, and maybe really the storyline will get momentum coming out of that going into the Royal Rumble. I did like last night that they acknowledged if they get fired, they'll just end up on Monday Night Raw. Just kind of weird, this idea that it's like, well, they're fired from SmackDown, but they're still with the company, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but with Daniel Bryan, I don't know, man. I would love this to be leading up to Daniel Bryan, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn versus the New Day. But, you know, I was surprised Daniel Bryan sat on that ring post last night. I was like, oh, that's a risky move, man.
Yeah, well, first of all, I wouldn't want it to lead to that, just because I think Daniel Bryan's return should be a big singles match.
I agree.
You know, I do think that would have the most drama. You know, you almost got to wonder if, you know, would they go with Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon, because Shane doesn't have an obvious opponent for WrestleMania. So if Daniel Bryan were to get cleared, or if he is already cleared, that seems like an obvious direction that they could go.
Oh, but with those stiff punches Shane McMahon throws.
Right. Well, Daniel Bryan's got the beard to absorb, some of the impact.
See, I almost see them botching it. I think that if they think he's going to go out as an independent on his own when his contract expires, why not kill that momentum and put him as the third man in a tag team?
Well, if they clear him, he won't leave. He doesn't want to leave. I mean, he's made that clear. He wants to wrestle in WWE. So I don't think they would, squash that if they're going to clear him to return.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe an elaborate revenge fantasy on Vince McMahon's part.
Hey, I wouldn't be surprised if they still misuse him. I mean, when he won the WWE Championship, they put him in an undercard feud with Kane, where he's like, hiding from him and running backstage with Brie, and made to look really weak. While it was clear Evolution and the Shield was the top feud during that period. Yeah.
We'll see, man. Oh, I meant to ask you, what did you think? Those rumors popped up, what was it, a week or two ago, but then died down really quick. This, do you put any weight to this rumor that Batista might come back?
Well, he said that he's talked to Vince, about coming back, but he'll only do it if it's in a feud with Triple H. And I think Triple H is kind of booked up for now. And he said that for a while. So I think if, Vince wanted to, he'd do it. But I think with how uneventful his last run, I guess that Vince just probably feels like he isn't worth it.
Yeah, which is weird. I mean, his star is shining pretty bright right now. So
yeah, but there's a difference between, a star shining bright in Hollywood and that transferring over, especially with how the wrestling fans are right now.
Yeah.
I mean, they rejected him in favor of Daniel Bryan last time, but and there's no one as strong a babyface right now as Daniel Bryan in WWE, where fans would turn on someone else in support of another guy.
Yeah, we shall see. So first match of the night last night, The New Day versus Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable, still officially without a name for their tag team.
I was kind of surprised with this one. Didn't Benjamin beat one of the Usos last week?
I believe so.
Yeah, so it seemed like they were going with Shelton and Chad versus the Usos. I don't know if they've decided to change direction or if they're going to do a three-way at Clash of the Champions.
Oh, we can only hope. The New Day coming out last night with pancakes, the Usos on commentary. Yeah, I mean, it was like, okay, Usos back full face, at this point. That was pretty great, though. I thought the Usos, the charm is coming through. Enjoyed Big E smuggling the pancakes in his singlet. Thought that was a nice touch.
I thought the Usos were great on commentary.
Yeah.
I thought this match was good. I was surprised a little bit by the ending, but it was a good match. Yeah,
so the New Day won that. There was some good stuff in this. I just feel like Benjamin and Gable, I don't know. What do you think is lacking from their tag team?
Well, they were just thrown together randomly. It was kind of one of those, the teacher putting, the two wrestlers together. I mean, like, you guys are going to be a tag team.
Yeah.
So it was never organic. I just don't see them as having any chemistry together.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if they need promos or just more, something more to really make it pop. I think the ring work is good. I thought last night the match was solid, Just, I don't know. I think maybe that, that's the problem, is that you put these guys in feuds with the New Day and the Usos, and if you don't bring it on that level of charisma, you're just going to look like the most bland tag team ever.
Yeah.
So it's a tough group to hang with.
How much does Chad Gable weigh?
230?
He's that big?
No, I mean, that's a complete guess. Let's see.
Hold on, let's take a look here. So they 203. So, I mean, it's 205 Live isn't necessarily great for your career, but at least you're doing something. I don't know.
That just seems like the Vince McMahon plan. Let's just round up all the small guys, put them on 205 Live, and then cancel it. And be like, oh, sorry, it didn't work.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think if they sent out that survey about 205 Live.
Yeah, I didn't get that one.
Yeah, I didn't either, but a bunch of readers sent it to me. It's on our Instagram. You can see all the pages on our Instagram and Facebook. But yeah, they're basically asking, if you don't watch it, why don't you watch it? They have a bunch of reasons. We have an article on it this morning, so you could read all about it. But if they really wanted to go all out with 205, you need to get some star power, not just these same bland guys every week with just doing moves. You got to have a lot more to it, and get Vince's hands off of it, because I think Vince's hands on it does him no favors.
Well, and I think that's the idea. I think if they make it sort of a more offbeat, unconventional show and let the writers have fun with it. And it felt like it was going in that direction when Enzo first went there that week when the Fashion Police showed up. Drew Gulak doing his PowerPoint shtick. I think you could just really have this irreverent show. It'll never be the biggest thing on the network, but it'll get its own cult following.
I think if you taped it elsewhere, that would help tremendously.
Full Sail, bring it back.
Yeah.
Woods pinned Benjamin for the finish of that match last night. We had after that another tag. I hate when they do the tag matches back to back, but the Bludgeon Brothers versus the Hype Bros. Okay, so week 2 for the Bludgeon Brothers. Raj, where are you at with this? What are you thinking?
I think the gimmick's corny, but they look good. It's just, you've seen this tag team forever, so it's hard to take them as killers now when you've seen, like I said, when you've seen them forever.
Yeah, the bodysuits.
They got a good pop though.
Yeah, the entrance was cooler this week, I thought.
Yeah, so something with that. I don't know if it was just this crowd. We'll have to wait and see. But if the fans are buying into it, then more power to them.
Talked about this the other night. Telling you, Kane should pass that mask to Rowan. Just literally, change the character. The idea the mask is what's possessed. Rowan's got the build for it. He's got the look for it. I think that's the best case scenario.
Having a bunch of wannabe Kanes is what you're saying?
Hey, it worked for Sin Cara, right?
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Actually, knowing Vince, it would be the mask is possessed, and it's going to be, they're going to put it on, like Mickey James or something like that, and just do some weird storyline.
They did that fake Kane program before, remember, where Luke Gallows was the fake Kane, and that lasted like 3 weeks before they put the kibosh on it. They had a terrible match, and then that was it.
Oh, I think I blocked that out. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think of the Bludgeon Brothers, the entrance was cool. So last night, their victory over the Hype Bros, rivaling Asuka over Dana Brooke in terms just of shortness and efficiency. That was quick.
Which match?
The Bludgeon Brothers.
Well, yeah. The story was to do the breakup, so. And you don't want, if you're pushing the Bludgeon Brothers as monsters, you don't want them in a long competitive match with the Hype Brothers, so. They did the right thing there.
Yeah, although weird that they would have that quick match and then devote so much time. Devoted more time to Mojo turning on Ryder after. So, who knows who has the momentum out of this? I think that'll be on the pre-show for Clash of the Champions, Ryder versus Mojo. Maybe the opening match.
I don't know. Their roster is so thin. I can almost see it,
Main event.
It's close enough.
Close the show.
Just think about what you have on that show.
Yeah.
You got Jinder and AJ, which I don't think people are really dying to see. And what else? Baron Corbin and Bobby Roode.
Bobby Roode, yeah, the promo that happened after. What did you think of that? So Roode still working face. Corbin shut down the idea of having that match last night, clearly building up for Clash of the Champions.
Yeah. I think I don't see how fans, if you're not familiar with Bobby Roode, if you didn't follow him in TNA or in NXT, how you'd be a fan of the babyface Bobby Roode. I just think he doesn't come across as likable. And even his entrance, the glorious entrance, is a lot less over than it was in NXT. It's cool, but it's not like a huge deal. So I think someone's saying they're messing Bobby Roode up so bad. And I agree. He feels like he's less and less over every week.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens coming out of this feud, but I think a heel turn would do him some good right now. After that, the 2-on-1 handicap match, AJ Styles versus the Singh brothers. Huh. Oh, man, they're just going to drag this out forever.
Yeah, I mean, we've pretty much seen every variation, right? I guess they could do Jinder and the Singh brothers against AJ. Yeah, I mean, it for what it was good. I mean, the Singh brothers can go if they need to. But yeah, I mean, the story was Jinder beating up AJ before the match. He beat up the Singh brothers again after the match. So, but yeah, I mean, nothing much to it. It'll be interesting to see where they go after Clash of Champions with AJ and Jinder.
Yeah.
Because with AJ, they've kind of, I mean, who do they got on the heel side right now that would be a top, that he could feud with for a while.
I mean, literally Kevin Owens, and
that's it. And Jinder. I mean, I could see this Jinder thing keep going.
Oh God,
Owens just seems too soon. Yeah. Sammy, there's always Sammy, I guess.
It'd be a really good match, but a really lackluster feud. I don't think it would do either guy any favors.
Yeah.
I think that's, as much as I love both of them, I think that's just got B-show. I mean, just stamp it, change the name of SmackDown. It's like put it on the network at that point, if that's your main event feud. Mm-hmm. Not that Jinder is much better, but I could see casuals flipping the channels, at least being more intrigued by AJ versus Jinder.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about this women's match last night. A lot of people online, this seemed like the main thing, controversial, just for where they're going with the storyline. Not that there's anything, particularly scandalous about it, but rather just the wrestling last night, the quality of it, and the similarities, of course, to what's happening on Raw. But first, want to welcome a new sponsor to the Wrestling Inc. podcast, and that's SeatGeek. Raj, have you used SeatGeek before?
Yeah, so I've used them recently for Lady Gaga tickets for the wife, but I'm going to go. And you can use them for WWE events, NXT events. Yeah, they're great, and they're easy to use.
Absolutely, and everyone knows that buying tickets to sports and concerts can be complicated. I'm telling you, SeatGeek is the better, simpler way to buy. SeatGeek is the smartest, easiest way to get tickets to live events. With SeatGeek's mobile experience, you can buy and sell tickets in just 2 taps. They help you find the best seats, the best prices, fully guaranteed. Telling you, there's nothing quite like seeing your favorite team, musician, or wrestler in person, and SeatGeek will get you closer to the action for a great, great price. I actually have the SeatGeek app on my phone. It's the easiest way to find and shop for tickets. I like that I could be anywhere. It'll show me all of the seating locations, all of the pricing. It breaks it down really easily. I've gotten great prices on there. Actually, I used it originally, when I was getting Hamilton tickets a year and a half ago when I was going to New York. And I'll tell you, I loved it. Believe me, I was looking at every ticket site, every ticketing app for every option of figuring out how I was going to go my way into Hamilton. And I loved that SeatGeek made it really, really simple. Got me a great deal. Save me time, save me money. I was looking at it today because Jay-Z is coming to the area, and I would really like to go to that. And the prices I'm seeing on there are a lot better than I'm seeing on the other ticket sites. SeatGeek is designed to make your ticket buying experience easier than ever. Again, it'll save you time and money because it actually searches multiple ticket sites to compare prices and find you amazing deals. And you get the most bang for your buck because they grade every ticket based on value to help you immediately identify the best seats to fit your budget. And this is the important part. Every purchase is guaranteed, so you can shop for tickets on SeatGeek with confidence. Make SeatGeek your go-to app for finding the best deals on every type of ticket for sports, concerts, wrestling, comedy, and theater. And best of all, our listeners can get $20 off their first SeatGeek purchase. Just download the SeatGeek app and enter the promo code INC today. That's promo code INC for $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase. And we thank them for sponsoring the podcast. So, Ruby Riott has an extra T in her last name. They really like to trademark these things.
I think there was some opposition to trademarking Ruby Riot with one T, so I think that's why they're doing it.
Yeah, and what is the name of her stable, of course? The Riot Squad.
Yeah, at least it's not Aberration or, like a complete ripoff of the Raw name.
An Absolution, I kept forgetting what it was on Raw. I had to look it up. Multiple times, like Absa, which is weird. You'd think Vince would be saving Absolution for like a guy with really great abs. Like that would be his ring name. But
pretty good.
Yeah, instead, nope. On Raw, that's the women's invasion team, and in this one, the Riot Squad. The promos were okay last night. I mean, look,
better than the Raw promos outside of Paige.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Ruby Riot is good, but she's no Paige in terms of charisma or just being dynamic on the mic or in the ring.
That's true, but the other girls were better, at least on the mic, than. Oh wait! The other girls talked last night. They just wrestled, right?
No, they talked.
They cut promos.
Liv Morgan, I will say this: her mic skills have improved immensely.
Yeah.
In NXT, I can remember seeing her at a live event when she was still wrestling under her name, Jana Dadio. And I remember thinking her wrestling skills were really, really good. It was her promos that needed work. Last night, complete opposite of that. I mean, her segments against Charlotte, and again, I'm a day one Liv Morgan fan, and that was tough to watch. I mean, they cut to commercial in the middle of her sequence last night, and thank God. I mean, that was not ready for the main roster.
Yeah, I still thought it was too similar to what they did on Raw as far as them taking out a bunch of women. It's just like I just think it's weak doing the exact same thing. Even though this week it wasn't exactly, but it was close enough.
At least they got an actual match.
But that match, man, the spots with Naomi at the end looked brutal. I hope she didn't legit get hurt because they look green. And Liv Morgan's been there for a while.
Yeah. God, 2 years at least working live events. So she was on TV for a bit. Never really got a push though in NXT.
Yeah, I mean she was really starting from scratch. So she's still green. It's going to take a bit, but
great look.
Great look.
Skills.
I think she can be a star for sure.
Absolutely. But it was that segment with Charlotte when Charlotte threw her into the corner and she did the pop-up and then didn't go over Charlotte. Just kind of, and Charlotte looked kind of a little confused and backed out of her way. Kind of like, okay, you're not getting enough air on this.
It's just, yeah. I mean, it's odd to me that you don't try this out on live events first before, getting them on TV.
There's a plan, man. There is a plan. The Women's Rumble. I mean, that's got to be it of why they're doing all of this, to lay this groundwork. I don't think a writer just said, I've got a really hot idea. Let's have 2 trios of women invade each brand and just run over the place. I don't think that was the creative idea.
Right. But, for all these women, you have them, or anyone that's coming in that's still kind of green, have them work live events first before having their first matches on TV. I mean, they have this weekend where they can practice spots and work on their stuff before putting it on TV.
Yeah, and what was weird about this last night and having this match, when again, look, people have already said this is a copycat of what's going on Raw. Why not have them do exactly what happened on Raw the other night and not have any wrestling? Just have the beat down, just have them throw punches, protect these women until they're a little more ready, because they won this match last night. The Riot Squad won.
You can still do it without doing the same thing as on Raw. Just have them do a promo.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you need.
They have to assert their dominance, Raj. They have to show how the ruthless aggression.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they could show like a video package. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can do. The fact that
all Liv Morgan's NXT highlights.
No, Ruby Riot's got some, at least, so at least it's something. And, just copying the same thing. It comes across as so B show to me.
But to have them win last night, that is the least. I think James Ellsworth beating AJ Styles was a more credible win than the Riot Squad winning that match last night.
Why is that?
Just the quality of the wrestling. At no point did I believe that they were going to, even when Natalya left, at no point did I believe that the three women in the ring could take out Charlotte, let alone Charlotte and Naomi.
No, it's going to take time, but they definitely should have won. They shouldn't be losing right off the bat.
They should, but what I'm saying, if you can't pull off a credible win, don't book the match. Just don't do it.
Ruby beat Charlotte pretty clean in the ring.
Yeah.
You know? So she hit her finisher. Charlotte was out, and that was it.
That was tough to watch, and I love the women's division, and I love what they've done with it, and I want to. Like we've said since the first hints of this, I'm so excited about a women's rumble. I think that really is putting that division on par with the men's division. But this match last night did not help anyone. I don't think it presented them as a credible threat. I don't think it gave you any interest in the storyline. And, Raw was supposed to do something similar on Monday with the 3-on-3 match. And you know what these 3-on-3 matches remind me of? This was before the brand split, before
when they first came in, when they had this, what was it, sorority?
Submission sorority, Team PCB. Sorority.
All right, yeah.
I don't think 3-on-3 women's matches builds the division,
I just think it's weak stuff. I mean, I just think the writing's really weak right now.
Yeah.
But they should have gone over here. I mean, they went over pretty strong, but you're just putting in three people you haven't really seen before. I mean, it took the Shield a while to really get over. But they were all really, at least Ambrose and Rollins at that time. Reigns got really good later, but he was green at the beginning. But at least they had Ambrose and Rollins who were, really good.
Yeah, I want more for this. I want it to be better. I want to be more invested. And I don't know. So they did confirm Becky Lynch off TV. Did we talk about it last week? I think news was breaking last week going to the podcast, but Becky filming the Marine 6.
Yeah. So she'll be out for a few weeks. The Miz as well, filming the movie as we saw in Raw last Monday. It was, I don't know if Elias is going to be with the Miztourage every week, but it appears that they see enough of the Miztourage to at least give them something to do while the Miz is gone.
Oh yeah, you weren't with us Monday night. What did you think of that segment with Curtis playing harmonica?
No, I heard you guys dogging on it. I thought they were funny. I thought it was pretty. It went on way too long. It seemed like they were stalling a lot on Raw on Monday, but I got a kick out of it. So
that was the one we've talked about this before. So I had relatives still in town from Thanksgiving, and that was the segment they were in the room for.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my God. After I was trying to justify, no, I have to do this. I have to watch it live. This is what we do every Monday. Just the looks I was getting after that segment.
Yeah, it seemed like it went on like 15 minutes between when Elias first came out and when the match started. But I don't know. I thought Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel were pretty good there.
I think we're clearly having fun with it. So that counts for something.
And I thought Elias, the last 5 minutes of that match with Reigns was some of the best stuff he's done on the main roster. The match overall, I thought it was too slow at the beginning, but by the end, I thought it really picked up and it was a really good showing for him.
The Fashion Files last night.
Ugh.
And talk about things that I want to love. I want to give this a pass every week and just be like, oh yeah, that was really good. But their Saw parody last night with Breezango and the Ascension. This is only the second one that they've done where I felt like, okay, this really isn't working.
Really? I felt like it hasn't worked in a while. I can't remember the last one I thought was good. I think it's been like a month.
Who do you think the villain reveal is? Ty Dillinger?
Who knows if there is one?
Oh yeah.
So
should be Mr. McMahon. Just have him. This is his return to TV.
That would be such a waste of his star power.
I know. So yeah, that was what it was. But let's talk about this main event last night. The no DQ match, Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. So Sami Zayn banned from ringside. He found a loophole technicality to get around that. But what did you think of this? Seemed a little, more using of the kendo stick. It was a little more involved than I think to Randy Orton's credit, this was a little more Randy Orton invested, it felt like, than a lot of his matches.
Yeah, I thought this was one of Orton's better matches in a while. I thought he looked good there. You know, I think everyone saw Sami Zayn doing something by the end. Yeah. Sami Zayn hit some of the weakest chair shots I've ever seen at the end. Like that chair was too heavy for him or something. I don't know what was going on there. But yeah, I mean, I like that Owens won, and it's yeah. I mean, I think that's the feud going for a bit is probably Owens and Orton.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I want to see more of what they demonstrated on Twitter in those exchanges in this, because I think that's been the high point outside of the ring thus far for them.
Yeah.
But I thought the match was good.
Yeah, the match was good. I thought this was the best thing on the show. Yeah, by far. And then the opening segment.
And Owens picked up the win. So that was, it was good.
After the chair shots from Sami, then what was the exact finish? Did he hit the
frog splash?
It was the frog splash, yeah.
So what do you make right now of all the rumors? You know, of everything that came down in the European tour with the Owens and Sami being sent home. Does Owens have any heat on him? Does Sami?
I think it's clear Owens doesn't. You still hear that Sami does. But Owens, Owens obviously doesn't with the Office, whether or not with the talent. But that incident was legit. They really did get sent back. I think cooler heads prevailed. But I think the talent did feel like Owens and Sami went into business for themselves and didn't want to get punked twice, so they took off. So we'll see. It's clear that they've moved on from that. So.
Getting a little more extreme, it seems, each time with people making fun of Sami. Last night, the Newsies reference. The Newsies Paperboy, Shane doing the dance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Road Dogg probably said to him, I want you to look like you're really struggling with that chair. Just like it's really hard to give those chair shots,
Yeah, I don't know if he was just really trying. He didn't want to hurt Orton because Orton was upset with them or what it was, but those chair shots look bad.
Yeah. So what do you do with Sami from here?
You could probably do AJ.
Yeah, you were saying that earlier. I mean, that would be a sign that Sami does not have anyone rooting against him backstage. If it becomes like Sami versus Mojo, then it's like, oh, Sami's getting buried, folks.
Yeah, I just think that the lack of options too. Because I guess you can keep going with Jinder because him and AJ have only been feuding for, it's been like a month. It feels like it's been a long time, but it's only been like a month and a half.
AJ and Jinder?
Yeah.
I feel like I was in my 20s when that feud started.
Yeah, but it started like right before the Survivor Series because Jinder had been with Nakamura. But yeah, it feels like it's been forever. But I don't know what else they go with. It's AJ and Jinder or AJ and Sami. And Sami, I don't know if they see him as in that title picture.
Yeah. So overall, what do you give SmackDown last night?
C minus. Yeah. It was just there. I was losing. I was just kind of losing attention. I was just stopping paying attention a lot while watching it. So. Two more SmackDowns, still Clash of the Champions. This Clash of Champions, I think that's going to be one of those that we'll have the banners up on the site that it's this Sunday, and everyone will be like, "What? Really? There's a pay-per-view this Sunday?" I think that's going to be one of those pay-per-views that people forget about. So. Is it usually that late in the month? I feel like the December pay-per-view is usually a week before. I mean, I'm sure it fluctuates. Yeah, I just think that time of year. It's not something that people are going to be like, oh my God. And it's kind of a terrible weekend too, right? I mean, that's the weekend Star Wars opens. Like everything is aligning to where I think this could be the lowest rated pay-per-view of the year. Yeah, I definitely see that. Poor SmackDown, man. Yeah, they're doing a good job burying it. You see the attendance. Oh man, someone sent me the photos from the attendance. I want to say it was in Roanoke last week. And oh man, it looked like worse than an indie show. Yeah. The only problem, he had sent it right before the show started, and he didn't have any once the show started, so I decided not to publish those just because I think people would have been like, oh, you're only publishing photos, before the show started. We don't know how soon before it was.
Take pictures at 5 o'clock, empty arena, guys.
Yeah. I mean, it was really, really bad.
Speaking of indie show attendance, so what's going on with Cody and the Young Bucks and the show they're putting
on? Nothing yet. I think they're just looking for a venue.
But what's the goal? Just to
Cody said on Busted Open that he'd like to face Daniel Bryan. If that's the case, you're talking about not until September. Because his contract isn't up until then. So that's you're talking almost a year away.
Yeah, who knows? But so their goal is to do the biggest independent wrestling show in the U.S. And what did I read? I mean, granted, I might have gotten this wrong secondhand, but it's 3 shows they're talking about potentially doing in the U.S. with their own money.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I just heard of the one.
Yeah, but the idea is that they're going to do, I think, 10,000 is the figure they're trying to break.
That's what they're trying to. Yeah, that's what they're trying to reach. That's based on a bet that Dave Meltzer and Cody made. That Dave didn't think that ROH could draw 10,000. And look, with one show, I don't know. It's possible, but
depends on who's on it.
Yeah, but as a regular, doing it 2 to 3 times, that I definitely don't think would ever happen anytime soon.
That I think they would almost have to do. Like counter program, do something Mania weekend. I mean, to get that many super fans in one area.
I mean, yeah, if you did it like in the UK and, or one over Mania weekend, one in the UK, then you might be able to, but yeah.
We'll see. And they might be able to get some favors. I'm sure it'll have some huge names. I'm sure there'll be some big intrigue. What did the New Japan show, and granted that's not independent, but what did New Japan do when they were in Long Beach?
I think it was like 2,000, 2,500, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what it does.
So it appears Brock Lesnar is going to be back soon, the December 18th Raw. So that would suggest that they got an opponent for him, because usually when he's sent back, he has to approve his programs. I think that's what Dave Meltzer reported before in the Wrestling Observer. So if that's the case, then they've got a plan for him. And my suggestion, I don't think this thing with Kane and Braun Strowman's over, by the way. I heard you guys talking Monday night, but I think they got to do at least a blow-off match where Braun Strowman beats him.
Yeah.
But what I would do, and I don't think they're going to do this with how they've been burying Finn, but what I would do is Finn challenge Kane after you get Kane and Strowman over with, but Finn challenge him as the Demon. And then Finn goes on to beat Kane convincingly. I mean, not a squash or anything, but convincingly. And then as the Demon, you challenge Brock. And then you have some intrigue because he's never lost as the Demon. You got Brock. And so that, I think, would add an extra layer. Because just based on that, the Demon never having lost. And who else do you go with? I mean, realistically, you got Kane, which I don't think people want to see. They don't want to do Braun. Samoa Joe, they're building to Samoa Joe and Roman. So
I really like Justin LaBar's idea of Cesaro, but
they're not. I mean, that would be weaker than Finn by far. I mean, Cesaro, you need to take time to build him, properly.
See, I feel like Cesaro they have built better.
He was just beat on Raw by Seth Rollins.
Yeah, I know, but they treat him better week to week, it seems like, than with Finn. I mean, Cesaro, even in his losses, he's made to look very strong. I feel like that they've booked him well. I think it'd be a great match, but yeah, it would not.
They book him like he does his power moves, but they don't book him like a star at all.
Yeah,
and that's part of it is being over on that level. Now, if they wanted to do something with Cesaro and then went to Brock, I could see that, but I think that would have to take months. But you never know. I mean, with Jinder, they just decided 1 week to do it, and they went with it.
And I think actually you have Sheamus as his mouthpiece. Having Sheamus, the guy out there hyping him up, and building it.
It could be. I mean, it would be a good match. I just think Finn as the Demon versus Brock would be more intriguing.
I think it'd be great till Finn loses as the Demon, and then
Cesaro would lose as Cesaro.
Yeah. But the Demon is. I think the Demon should be more protected.
They're not. I don't think they're concerned about that.
I know it's just unfortunate.
Yeah, but at least it gives him something. And
yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see. If I had to guess, I would say it's probably going to be someone like a Kane or, gosh, who else? They really don't have many people. Seth? I don't know.
Yeah, we shall see. Lastly, what's up? CM Punk is going to fight again in the UFC?
Well, it seems clear that Dana White's open to it. He's meeting with Dana this weekend. CM Punk's been training for another fight, so you don't watch UFC, right?
No, I watched the CM Punk fight. I mean,
yeah, I just don't know who you put him against because he was just destroyed by someone who's not a top level guy. I mean, he's not. Mickey Gall is not bad by any means. He's promising, but it's not Bellator where they do like super gimmick fights, even though signing CM Punk is a gimmick. So
Mickey Gall looked like the top guy compared to CM Punk in the ring.
No, he looked like a destroyer, but anyone can look like a destroyer when you put in, when you put them against someone that's not very good.
I watched that UFC series. What was it? The 3 or 4 part CM Punk series building up to it.
Oh yeah.
I tried going into it to suspend disbelief, and that was tough to watch.
And the last episode of that series where it was supposed to show like CM Punk's now ready and he's like beating that guy in sparring.
Yeah.
And that guy he was beating in sparring looked like they just got him off the street. Like he just seemed like out of shape and didn't have a muscle on him. So, man, if I was Punk, I'd think about your health and sign with Bellator and get an easy fight. Get a gimmick fight. They'll get that Power Ranger in Bellator. Or someone way out of their prime.
If I was CM Punk, I'd be calling up Cody and the Young Bucks and saying, "So let's talk about these 3 shows you guys want to do."
Now that, man, if they could get CM Punk for that, I think they could do 10,000.
Yeah. No, I think he could do that and probably get.
Yeah, Zach McDonald pointing out the Young Bucks has said that they've been begging and pleading for him to join Bullet Club. And, CM Punk, he's upset with WWE. If he ever wanted to stick the boots to him, wrestling is the way to do it.
I think that's how they'll get a 10,000 draw, especially if they need to do it in multiple cities. It will be calling in everybody with a grudge against the WWE to help them.
Yeah. I mean, CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, those would be 2 big ones.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Anything else to cover before we take it home here?
No. I think that's it. Kind of an uneventful week, really. But
yeah, a week after the holiday.
Yeah, just this time of year until we'll see Brock coming back, so they'll have a big Royal Rumble match in mind. So we'll see what that is. Yeah, cool, man. We'll be back Monday night to follow everything that happens on Raw. I'm fingers crossed it's good, folks. So until next time, I'm Glenn Rubenstein, and we'll see you back here on the Wrestling Inc. podcast. Take care.